Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Now if you're a newer player, returning player, free-to-play player, or just don't know what to do before and after getting membership, well, then this video is one worth watching for you. As in this video we're going to be covering the things you want to be doing before and after getting membership. Grab a cup of tea, sit back and enjoy. Let's start off by getting into the things you want to be doing before you get RuneScape membership. So the first point is definitely make sure you have enough time, because who wants to get on a game, then buy membership or buy membership with in-game gold and then find out that they have no time to play, meaning that they wasted their money or in-game GP on bonds. Now the next thing you want to be doing before you get membership is definitely train up your stats in free-to-play first, as most methods are around the same experience per hour as in members, and you'll just be wasting your precious membership time by training them in pay-to-play. I suggest getting at least level 50 combat stats, because you'll be needing those stats for Slayer and bossing later on in game. As from level 50 on, the experience rates in members are actually much higher than those in free-to-play. So that's why you want to finish the earlier levels on free-to-play worlds, and then once you're members you can easily train up faster than free-to-play, or that you ever could in free-to-play, by training in members. The next point is definitely very important. You want to have some starting cash. I suggest you have around 1 million GP. There's no need to go into members making millions and millions of free-to-play, but you at least want to have some cash so that you can get your starting items or some useful armor or some other stuff that is members only at the start of your membership time period. Next up is an important point. I suggest you finish up the free-to-play quests and achievement diaries, as these are just a waste of your time in membership, as you could be doing the pay-to-play quests, which sometimes require some of the free-to-play quests, so it's better to finish them early on, as then you can use your precious membership time for other activities, like pay-to-play quests, bossing, skilling, or just training up your stats in general. And the next and last point before we get into what you should be doing after getting membership is make a membership plan. Now this is probably it's so important, as you want to know what you're going to be doing, otherwise you're just going to get membership and then you're just going to stand there and be like, yo, what am I actually going to do? What skill am I going to train? And I do think I have some good suggestions or account goals for you in mind. The first is unlocking invention, which requires 80 divination, crafting and smithing. This is a useful skill you're going to be using and training while doing skilling or combat, and is definitely a recommended goal to go for. The second is Elf City, requiring 75 in around 10 skills. 75 as in level 75. Priv or Elf City also requires the Elven quest line to be complete, ending with the Plague's End quest. Now the Elven City is definitely the mid-tier player end goal, because you'll be using this place to get yourself the max cape easier, and it's also the place where the max cape portal or max guild is located at. Another good account goal would be the Temple at Santistan quest, which then unlocks the curses, which are useful for any combat scenario, especially Soul Split. Now you don't have to follow these suggestions, but these are some basic and very popular account goals for most players. You could alternatively also choose to go for a certain 99 and grind it out, but I don't suggest training only one skill, as you might get bored or burned out from it. At the end of the day, it's your membership plan and you need to choose what you're going to be doing. Now before we get into what you want to be doing after getting membership, we're going to be talking about how you can obtain membership. Now you can buy membership in packages, which is obviously going to be cheaper per month if you buy more months in one go, and you can also just get it in a 1 month plan, which is a recurring payment, meaning that you get the payment every month, unless you cancel it, of course. Now you can also buy membership with bonds. Now they can be bought with real life money, but that's just a waste of your money. Or you can just buy them in-game for around 80 mil, sometimes 20 mil, sometimes 15, 16 mil. It really depends on what the price is at that point of time you're watching this video. Now it's up to you what you pick. If you have a full-time job, membership probably isn't very expensive for you. If you're a returning player and you have high stats, you can probably make back the GP you paid for the bond in 14 days anyway. Oh, and by the way, if I didn't mention it before, a bond gives you 14 days of membership per bond, which is half a month. And a month of membership is obviously 30 days. Now if you're a newer player, this is very relevant to you, as quests in RuneScape give amazing rewards and are definitely worth your time, but they can be boring at some times. Now if you're a newer player watching this video, it is definitely recommended to get on that quest grind as soon as possible, as you can get some nice experience rewards from experience lamps that can get your levels up quite quickly, some good abilities, and stuff like curses and Slayer dungeons or monsters to be unlocked. You're going to have to quest after a while anyway, as you want to access Priv for the Max Guild or just for the Elven City training methods, or some other things that you're going to quest for in the end anyway, so you might as well get that grind over as soon as possible. Now recently you are rewarded for getting a certain amount of quest points, as the quest point shop was released. You can find this shop close to the Varrock Lodestone, and you can get rewards like a Lorehound pet, Tier 75 hybrid armor which can be used for magic, ranged and melee, and you can even get lucky and get a huge amount of money from some of the dice rewards. Like the dies, you can actually get dies from the dice rewards. So if you're unsure on what dies are or you don't know what they are, they're very expensive die items that you can buy in game for hundreds and maybe even billions of GP. Now if you watched the section of the video before membership, I mentioned that you wanted to train up your combat stats for later use in membership or the members world. And we come to this point where I recommend to train up your combat stats even more, as eventually you're going to get into bossing, at least if you're not a skiller. Bossing is one of the most profitable ways to earn GP in the game. And after that, Slayer is a very good way to make money as well, and both require high combat stats if you want to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Now Slayer is on average, I'd say 2 mil per hour GP depending on your task. Now some tasks are up to 6 mil per hour or even more if you have the right gear and the right setup. Now in terms of bossing, it's very different and it varies from boss to boss. Some bosses are only around 2 to 3 mil per hour, but they're very consistent, like Krill to Zatsarov, also known as Zamorak, being the Godwars Dungeon 1 boss. Now average down, the high level bosses can make you a huge amount of money per hour. Obviously that's not going to be the case every hour, but average down, let's say at Araxor, once you complete a full leg, it can be upwards of 10 mil per hour GP. But that depends on your luck and the drops you get of course in between, like the Onyxes, and there are also bosses that are absolute crap money like the Giant Mole or King Black Dragon, which is too bad of course, as those bosses are very easy and actually free to play as well. The next point is a very important one if you're going for Maxscape, or plan to go for Maxscape eventually. Get started on your daily D&Ds, like Guthixian caches, sinkholes and warbands. Now dailies do not take up much time and they give you a huge amount of experience, especially at the mid to high levels for the amount of time you put into the daily. For example, the Warbands daily can get you 360k experience for just 10 minutes at level 99. If you think about it, that's over 1 mil experience per hour, which is insanely fast, especially because you can do it for slower skills like farming and mining. Now I did mention that you can make the most amount of money in game, pretty much, with bossing and Slayer. But with skilling, aka non-combat methods, you can also make a great amount of money. If you're interested in some basic money making guides, I do have a top 5 non-combats money making guide video on my channel, which I'll link in the description below. But yes, making some money, especially at the start of your membership, is definitely worthwhile, as you want money for better gear, for bossing, or even to train your skills faster, because Runescape is pretty much like this. The more money you spend per hour, the faster you train the skill per hour. There are some exceptions, but most of the time it's the more you spend, the faster experience you're going to be getting. Now if you're a returning player or a new player, I highly suggest you join a clan, as then you can make friends, social connections and get help if you have any questions. If you can ask a higher level player or a more experienced player about a problem you have or something you don't understand, they'll usually help you out in a clan. Now there are hundreds of RuneScape clans out there, and there are many clans out there that will happily take a newer player inside their clan. So don't worry about having these certain requirements met for your high level clan, as there's always a clan with a huge amount of members that has 0 requirements. What I suggest you do is go on the RuneScape website, go and look for clans that have 0 requirements, then guest in that clan chat and ask for an invite. Alternatively, you can always go to the Grand Exchange, where there are usually vexes placed on the floor, and people around it are from the clan. Usually you can ask them for an invite as well, and it's a bit easier than going on the forums and looking up a clan yourself. Now before I end the video off, just a little last note or reminder. The best way to learn things about RuneScape is by watching video guides, as you visually see something and you get information from the audio at the same time. Now I have a huge amount of guides on my channel, including monster guides, slayer guides, bossing guides, 1 to 99 and 120 guides, and they surely will help you out. Now I'm not the only guide creator out there, but I highly suggest you look up guides if you need information or need help or don't know how to do something in RuneScape free. And on that message, I want to conclude this video and hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below and maybe even consider subscribing. Catch you guys later. Peace.
I'm never gonna stop, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Take it right now, before you get lost, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Write your own story, you control the plot, yeah. One shot, that's all you got. Could drop